welcome to Savvy Seniors. We're glad you're here today. I'm Mary Dilly.
And I'm Sarah Fury.
And today we have a special guest, Greg Chow from Revera. Greg, I can personally vouch for the food at Revera because I've eaten there many times. I have to say Birkdale is one of my favorite places to move people into because they always feed me when I go there. Yeah. And when we're going to go, my staff always says, are we going to be there for lunch or dinner? So I want to ask you, what is the dining experience like for people that haven't been there and haven't seen it and haven't tasted the food?
Well, Mary, unfortunately, with a retirement home, a lot of people bunch us into nursing homes. But the dining experience at Revera or Birkdale Place is that it's very much like a restaurant atmosphere. We've got service there, you get served, they know what you like, there's a featured item, an a la carte menu, and the food comes out on china and cutlery. Mm-hmm.
And it's beautiful. And the soups are all handmade.
The soups, the food is made there every day. We've got a Red Seal chef and Kathy. Marisol makes some incredible soups each and every day. Mm-hmm. Everything's made fresh from scratch.
Yeah.
And are your residents then there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yes, they are. They can choose. We have 2 dining times per meal period, and they come either earlier or a little bit later, but they eat there every day, 3 times a day.
And then serving them all of their meals each day, how do you ensure that they are receiving proper nutrition?
Well, Revera has a 6-week rotated menu that's based on the Canada Food Guide. We make sure that there's certain proteins served X amount of times per that 6-week program. And then the culinary directors, they have a little bit of leeway with what they can serve, but as long as they follow the food guide throughout that 6-week program.
I love when you go into the kitchen, if you're privileged enough to get into the kitchen and pick at the food, I love that you have signs up saying, you know, so-and-so can't have salt and so-and-so can't have this, so that the client doesn't feel that they're being deprived because it's just not being brought to them. I think that's really sweet.
Very, very true. We can cater to all our residents' needs from a dietary perspective. Mm-hmm. If they have low sodium, they're a little bit diabetic, they can't have certain dairy products and everything else, we know who they are. Yeah. That's where it's a little bit better than a restaurant because these are like regulars coming in each and every day, and the servers get to know them by name and kind of know what their quirks are, what they like, what they don't like, yeah, and make sure that they personalize their service towards that resident each and every day.
Yeah.
So the fact that you are able to accommodate different dietary restrictions, to say, are the meals brought in, or do you make them right at the retirement residence?
No way. The meals are never frozen. They're made fresh each and every day, each and every meal period. Like I said, there's a 6-week menu. The residents know what the menu plan is for that week, and then the chefs are cooking it fresh each meal period.
Hmm. And are your chefs then, do they have any special culinary designation, if that's,
Our culinary directors are Red Seal chefs, okay, so they do have culinary training and background with that.
Wow.
That's excellent. That's exciting. So the food is prepared right on site?
The food is definitely prepared on site each and every day. Obviously we make our order for the food to come in. It comes in from our supplier, and then the menu is created by our culinary directors each and every day, and then it goes from there. The food is amazing. I eat there every day when I'm working, at least once a day, sometimes twice. But I've definitely gained some weight because that speaks to the food, how great it is.
Yeah. Do the residents have a say? Can they request certain food?
Oh, absolutely. We have some of the residents, they have their favorite family recipe. We have, Flora, who makes her pasta sauce. That's amazing. Her meat sauce. So we'll feature it. So she'll tell us what the ingredients are. She'll come in her kitchen. We'll help her make it, and then the rest of the residents get to enjoy that favorite family recipe for sure.
That's amazing. Have you been in their beautiful private dining room?
I have, yes.
So what can the residents do with that? Can they I assume they can have family in And
Absolutely.
they could have a birthday party or an anniversary party or
So
something.
pre-pandemic, our private dining room, a family, if they have a special occasion, a birthday, they have family coming from out of town, we could cater a menu to them, absolutely.
Okay.
We have a menu that they can choose from. They could use the private dining room or a Birkdale room. A lot of the Revera properties definitely have that feature to be able to do that. Even if they want to come in and have a meal with their family during regular times, they can absolutely do that. It just has to be pre-arranged, so we have a table set aside for them.
So maybe we should go and have a private meal at one of the Revera properties just to check them out.
Yes.
Well, Mary, we know that you've eaten at Birkdale, especially when you've come to help us move. And what I always say, food goes straight to the soul, right?
And if a resident wanted to, are they still able to cook?
Oh, absolutely. We have a separate kitchen that they can do things with. We've definitely had residents that have helped cook. Just recently, we had our Superhero Day, and they made chocolate chip cookies for all our staff.
What's a superhero day?
Superhero Day. So we, instead of celebrating, Marvel comics or any those types of superheroes, we thought, our staff have been heroes throughout this whole pandemic, and the residents wanted to cook some, a little bit of a treat for our staff. So they did cook their special chocolate chip cookies and gave them out to each of their staff, packaged nicely.
How many superheroes did you get? Because I don't know if you know this or not. I'm going to embarrass you now. During the pandemic, when it was really in its height, Greg moved in to Birkdale for 4 months so that he could be there 24/7 for their residents.
Wow.
Well, it was definitely a new challenge. I mean, the last 2 years never prepared anybody for anything, but definitely my residents were pretty frightened by the prospects of what the pandemic had to do. And I thought, what a great way to get to know them and also to kind of, give them a little bit of support. So I definitely stayed in one of the rooms, a very comfortable room. But I thought there was going to be a little bit more nightlife, but definitely not. The carpets basically rolled up at about 8 o'clock, and it was very quiet. So I had to be quiet and stop running around the halls to stay in shape for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
And along with sort of the superhero day that you did for the pandemic, which I think is fantastic, because I know that the recognition for the frontline workers, especially in retirement homes, greatly appreciated during that time. But are there any other themed days that you do or any other special events that revolve around food?
Oh, definitely for sure. We have our staff that have done a Filipino day, so they'll cook their homemade meal, bring it in, and share it with all the residents. We have different Italian days. We have Oktoberfest coming up near the end of September.
Oh, Oktoberfest will be good.
I love
And we've done
come for
baseball days.
Oktoberfest?
Absolutely, you can.
Wow.
Are you going to bring the beer, Mary?
Oh, okay. I could bring the beer. I'll bring the beer. I'll bring the beer. That's okay. You put me on live TV to say you'll bring the beer, so I'll bring the beer. Greg, it's been great having you here today. You're always a lot of fun. You're so dedicated to Revera and to Birkdale specifically. We love coming there. We love working with you. So thank you for coming.